we're getting an epic pass. How did I miss this memo? Holy crap. So, and it's a legendary inheritance series. Okay, so the way epic passes work, right, is they will appear in the left center of your screen. You click on it, it'll bring up the screen, and by doing things, you will get this top bar of reward. The premium reward, it says it's a premium purchase. Don't worry, this isn't real money, kinda. You purchase this with Sky Stones. Usually it's 900, right? Yeah, 900 Sky Stones. If you spend 900 Sky Stones, you will unlock this blue bar, the premium bar. And this bottom bar, if you unlock this bottom bar, it'll cost you 2,500 Sky Stones. Now that's not that's not each, right? It's not 3,400 Sky Stones, right? It's not 900 plus 2,500. It's 2,500 to get both. If you spend this one first and you come back to get this later, this is going to say 1,600. The 900 will already be removed from it. So you got to decide what's worth. I can tell you this. If you have the 900 Sky Stones, this premium reward is always worth it. The stuff you get from this is way more than 900 Sky Stones in value, and I strongly encourage you to get this if you have the means. Don't go whip out a credit card and spend money you don't have to buy Sky Stones to get the premium pass, but if you've got the 900, pick this up. It's worth. This green one, it's subjectively worth, right? In this case, that extra 1,600 Sky Stones is going to get you 2 mana selection chests, 4 epic equipment chests, and 2 epic accessory chests. I can see why they're calling it a legendary inheritance chest, because they're putting 88 gear in it, much like ancient inheritance, and they're giving you reset stones. It's 1,600 Sky Stones for somewhat of a gotcha. Unless these have fixed stats, and we'll get into that in a minute, these could roll terrible. They could roll terrible and you could reset them, and then they could roll worse. But they could also be some of your best gear in your game. So if you're hungry for really high-end gear and you don't mind the gamble and you got Sky Stones to spend, drop the 1,600, grab the stuff, and see if you can get some better gear. I typically don't go into this. 1,600 Sky Stones is a lot. That'll keep you from being able to refresh shop, spend on energy, do things like that. But if the gear's got great subs or rolls really high for you, then it was totally worth. Just be willing to accept the fact you might spend 1,600 additional Sky Stones and just get unusable garbage that you sell for gold. And that'll feel bad. Okay, so can acquire the pass, works like a normal epic pass. Let's see. Yeah, that's the stuff. Tell me about the gear. Legendary inheritance. This is all the stuff. If you want more details on what you get from the free and what you get for your 900 Sky Stones, that's this. And what you get for your 2,500 Sky Stones, that is this purple part here. For your final 1,600. 900 and 1,600, that's what equals the 2,500 Sky Stones. Your main stat for your boots, necklaces, and rings are determined with equal okay, it's totally freaking random. This is totally random gear. It could be speed boots with flat HP. It could be a destruction neck with flat defense main stat. It's total gamba. But it is selection chest, so you'll be able to select the type of gear. You'll say, I want it to be destruction set and I want it to be boots. And it will guarantee you red destruction set boots. But the main and subs will be totally random. You could say, I want it to be speed set armor, and you will get red speed set armor. But the substats will be totally random. I think the 2 modification chests are what you would go in on. Remember, Hoochie sells these damn things for like $1,300 to $1,800 a pop. So $1,600 to get, or 1,600 Sky Stones to get 2 of them is worth it in Smilegate bucks. You've got to decide if it's worth it to you. Oh my God. Specter Tenebria has been at the top of every tier list. And I think if you know that copy pasta, you know. But I'm not even kidding. She has been at the top of every tier list since her buff. She has always been meta in RTA. She has survived every single meta change and has only just recently fallen off. The past couple of seasons, she's seen less and less use, and only now she hasn't been used nearly as much. So she's getting an EE. This EE is going to impact her Nightmare Illusion. This is her passive skill. Not only is it going to give her 17 to 14 attack, it's going to change the attack and defense condition.
On the sponsors they make the streamers said that we have a free season pass, unlike the majority of Gakas.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. That season pass is totally for free, just for playing the game. You don't have to spend anything to get the top tier epic pass. It's only if you want to buy the premium stuff. So the way Nightmare Illusion worked before is when you killed an enemy, she got a boost, a 10% boost to her attack and her defense. They're changing it. The only thing they're changing is this word. They're changing it from kill on death to on attack. So let's break this down for a minute. The way Tenebria worked before is to access this skill, somebody had to die. An enemy or a teammate, but somebody had to die, and 5 people had to die to max this skill out. Well, with only 7 people on the in the fight other than Tenebria, that made it a little bit tough. Now, it wasn't so bad for PvE, because there's a lot of PvE fights that go on for a while. They have, like, sometimes you're fighting 8 or 9 mobs at once, but in RTA, at best, most people saw this get raised maybe 3 ticks. By the time you got this up 4 ticks, the fight was over, one way or the other. Your team was 2 dead or their team was 2 dead for her to really max it out. Now, they're changing it to just her doing an attack. Holy smokes. That means after you do 5 attacks, which caps it out, she will have a 50% boost to her defense and potentially a 64% boost to her attack. Do you guys have any idea what that means? Let's break this down for just a minute. This is my Specter Tenebria. Now, she's built just a little bit of tankiness so salvos don't get her, and she's built as nuclear as I could get her, right? So that I could blow some things up. She has got 1156 defense. Once she does 5 attacks, and remember, she can soul burn, so right out of the gate, she's getting 2 attacks off. Once she does 5 attacks, her 1156 health is going to go to times 1.5 to 1734 defense. 1734 defense on Tenebria, and not a lot of things will penetrate her because most penetration units are single target. I mean, she'll still take it in the ear from things like, Landy's throwing her boat at her, sure, but who doesn't take it in the ear from that? You could always run Ilanov on her. And let's look at that attack. 3809 attack, plus 50% from the 5 stacks, plus 14% from the EE if you get a max one with 64 cents, so times 1, so 3809 times 1.64. My Stenny has 6,250 attack. 6,250 attack, Specter Tenebria. It's going to evaporate things. It's such a high attack that it doesn't need to be that high. It means that I can lower her attack and put more bulk on her. It means that counter set and unity set are suddenly going to be so good on her, because when she counters, she hits 2 targets, and that's going to raise her stacks. When she dual attacks with somebody from Unity, that's going to raise her stacks. Running her with dual attack proccing units like, I don't know, C Phantom Politis, whose rage buff also increases her attack, and dual attacks with her is going to increase her attack. It means that Lifesteal build is back on the table, because you'll be able to build her bulky enough, and her boost to her attack is going to make up to it, and she's going to actually be a bruiser again. Vigor increases her attack. How about Vigor and Rage for my 10,000 attack Specter Tenebria? I think this EE changes everything about this unit. from her usability to her build diversity. I think people are going to be able to build her as a single target nuking monstrosity. If they do book stacking and can soul burn the shit out of her at the beginning, if they run her with dual attack units to stack her up artificially, I think people can bruiser her out. I think that, of all things, something we've never really seen before, a counter Specter Tenebria could really be a thing. I think the lifesteal build is back. I think this EE is exactly what she needed to get her off of the shelf and back into the fights. And that's great, because remember, the #1 complaint about RTA has been unit diversity. We need more unit diversity in RTA because it sucks fighting the same 12 units over and over and over again. And will this be enough to change that? I think so. But I'm no RTA master, that's for sure. So we'll see. We'll have to see how she tests out. Yet another thing I'm excited to watch the god tier streamers of RTA cook with. I think this is great. When will this drop? Who knows? It could drop tomorrow. It could be in in the Hall of Trial shop tomorrow, or it could be a month from now. We'll have to see, but this is coming. Yeah, it does not say when, so definitely this month. It is tomorrow. It's confirmed tomorrow somewhere. Wow.